Hello and welcome. I am really pleased to be joined today by Mark Lowe, Business Development Director for Pinacl Solutions. Hello Mark, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for the invitation.
Now you're here today to tell me about your digital property management solutions. So right off the bat, what is it?
Fundamentally, we put it under our smart cities evolution, and it's a social housing property management solution using sensors in the property, connected to a network, connected to an application that ultimately helps landlords and social housing organisations manage their properties more effectively.
Right, so this is an Internet of Things application.
It absolutely is, yeah. It's IoT, Internet of Things, and evolution for us from smart cities, smart places, to a social housing.
And you've got sensors installed in these houses to help people manage, particularly in social housing situations, the property itself. But what type of sensors are we talking about?
It can have up to 4 sensors per property, and we're looking at 3 core measurements currently, and they are temperature, humidity, and CO2. Right. Using a combination of those 3 with different sensors in different rooms, kitchen, bathroom, bedroom, lounge being the primary areas, we could start to do some clever analysis with that data to help the landlords.
Right, so you've got these sensors, they're collecting continuous data from the properties across those different aspects.
Yeah.
Now, how does a property manager actually use the solution? How do they work with those sensors or get useful information from it?
Fundamentally, from the social housing association or landlord, they will use the application, which obviously we'll show today. In the background, we as Pinacl have gone out there, we've helped with some sensors, we've built a network, we've built a platform, and we've fed that data into an application. The main interface is the application. That's where everything comes to life and becomes real.
Right, so it's this web interface
Yep.
that the end users can see all the data and actually manage their properties from.
Absolutely.
Can you show me?
Certainly. If I quickly just log on, obviously it is web-based, as you said, secure access. Here we go. So
immediately there's a map of York.
Yes. So this is an instance that we're working with the City of York Council currently. They are in an active trial with us right now to trial out and proof of concept around this sensor-based solution. But as you're seeing there from the dashboard, there are a number of headings on the left-hand side.
We've got housing, air quality, flood management, road temperature. So this is really smart city.
Correct.
As a whole.
It is.
But today, let's just look at the housing elements. So
Absolutely.
Can you pull up a house?
Yeah,
or a
certainly.
group of
So
houses?
I can click straight into the screen here.
Right. So you can see where the properties are.
You get a feel for where they are, and then obviously what we can do is you can just hover over them. Click into them. Obviously,
4 properties.
But property number 4.
Right.
Again, there's considerations here about what information we put in the tool. So we work with each local authority or housing association
To
tell us,
this environment.
They may use specific reference numbers or IDs. Again, it's just trying to be considerate to data protection, etc.
So just talk me through what we're seeing here. We've got a dashboard with smart property analysis, smart property status. We've got different colours.
Yes. So what we've got here for this particular property, the smart property analysis section is really where I would like to say the clever things happen. They are the different areas that we are using these sensors to try and predict and preempt and monitor. So the core areas that we're looking at the moment is, and this has been developed in conjunction with housing associations, which has been great for us. It's helped us create a solution that's fit for purpose. So damp and mould are really big problems for a lot of social housing.
It causes a lot of damage and a lot of cost to put right.
Correct. So, and quite often you've got housing associations who've got many, many thousands of properties, but not many, many thousands of people to help manage those properties. So quite often the inspectors or the coordinators are really being quite reactive. They do absolutely fantastic when they get involved, but quite often it's too late. They can open the door and there's widespread damp. They may be facing a £25,000, £30,000 bill to refurbish the property, rehouse the tenant whilst it's being done. disruption, complaints, issues.
But this can immediately flash up some alerts.
Yeah,
and it looks like traffic lights. You get warnings. Very easy, simple to.
We are simple souls, so we didn't want to make anything that was overcomplicated. It's meant to be as functional as it is. So traffic lights is absolutely right. Green is good. Amber is something's not right. It's a warning, and then there's a red one, which is a critical alert.
Sort out now.
Absolutely. So damp and mold is an example here. You've got 2 rooms that are flagging up as being amber. There are thresholds behind these that are triggering the alarms, and again, we work with each of the housing associations to define those thresholds.
And just go through this for me. Heartbeat, for fuel poverty detection, empty property detection, unauthorized occupancy.
Yeah.
Now, how do sensors tell you that?
Yeah. So heartbeat is actually just, are the sensors working? So is the network in contact with the sensors? So that's great. We've got a normal there, everything's fine. Fuel poverty is one that really came about when you are measuring those 3 core things of temperature, humidity, CO2. Temperature, particularly in winter, and particularly, we say perhaps elderly, can find themselves in scenarios where they feel they can't afford the heating, or they're not really looking after themselves and the property.
So you'll see the temperature drop in certain rooms or across the whole
If
property.
you've got a temperature consistently below 15 degrees in winter and down below 15 to 10 degrees, you've got a bit of a problem, and that's not healthy for the tenant at the end of the day. So it's an alert that would trigger to the housing association. It's not necessarily something that you would say is their responsibility, but a lot of them are saying it's being a responsible landlord that would say, even if it's a phone call to the next of kin, or if they were passing by, just knock on the door, ring the tenant, etc. Empty property detection is really where the housing association are expecting a tenant in there. They're expecting income, service fees, and then obviously over a set period of days or weeks that may be, using the CO2 measurement in particular, you would then see that because we produce CO2, and likewise unauthorised occupancy is the reverse of that. The social housing association think it's empty, and we are now seeing quite increased CO2 levels.
When there are no people and there should be, or when there are people when there shouldn't be.
Correct. Yeah.
That's fascinating stuff. So what else does this page show me?
So away from the alarms there, on the right hand side here, we've basically got the last set of readings that have come in. Clearly we're in a bit of a temperate climate at the moment.
Yeah, it's pretty warm.
It's very warm. So yeah, we're seeing those higher range of temperatures is not unusual. Humidity is quite high, especially with our country, and when it gets hot, it gets quite humid. And then further down, we've got the sensor readings per room. Obviously in this scenario, only in the lounge are we monitoring CO2. Yeah. The other 3 rooms, we're just looking at temperature and humidity. And then here we've got a period where we can look at the last 6 hours, 24 hours, up to 90 days.
Makes sense. So it's incredibly simple solution, but there is a lot of information and a lot of technology going in there.
A lot of hard work's been done, and there's a lot of things happening in the background that don't need to be seen that ultimately results in a solution like this.
Right, it looks fantastic to me. If people are watching and they want to find out more, perhaps get an actual demo or a trial, where do they go?
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously if you can visit our website, we've got a page there set up dedicated to this where people can just quickly access it and fill out a form and book a demo.
Perfect. Well, Mark, thank you for joining me, and thank you for showing me your digital property management solution.
Thank you very much. Thank you.